Welcome to the Marketing Meetup for November. I'm so excited that we're all here, and we're going to talk about how we can really save some time when we're scheduling your social media through the Content Fresh Cloud. This is one of the features that really isn't replicated by any other scheduling tool that I've seen. And when I look at what sets us apart, what makes this platform better, this is the number one tool. And there are two parts of it. One is category tags. When you organize your content by category, you're able to schedule on your calendar, and you're also able to use it for a lot of recurring content, things that maybe happen once a week. One of our clients is a restaurant client. They have Kids Eat Free every Tuesday. That post can be automatically recycled and posted every Tuesday without anyone having to do anything after the first post is created. There's a lot you can do with it. And so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Right now, we're going to be using the Overlap Podcast Workspace. They are a local podcast that talks about business services and entrepreneurship, and where entrepreneurship and family and health all mix together. But today we're using their workspace just to set up some cues. There's a couple things that we wanted to showcase, and one is an event. So we're going to set up a drip campaign, and the other is a series of quotes that we're going to put out every Monday. If you're in your content library, you click on this top menu item under the Create section called the Content Library, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you've used our platform. If you're not, that's where to find it. Then this series of tags that show up here are what we're talking about with content tags. You'll see our examples here. We like to use dates as tags, and we also have different topic tags. So for this example and for this client, we have topics about artificial intelligence or leadership, entrepreneurship. But Motivational Monday is a fairly new idea we had where we're going to have several quotes. So if I click this tag, it also organizes our content library. So now everything that has that tag is filtered, and we're only seeing those posts. We have several quotes that we've put together that are all along the entrepreneur line. These are just inspirational. They're also fairly generic, so it's something that is timeless and can be posted at any time. So what I'm going to do is show you how to use that tag right here to schedule on the calendar. I will click on the Schedules tab and come to the queue. We're going to create a weekly schedule, and this is for our motivational quotes. We want this to happen every Monday morning. How about bright and early, 7:30 a.m. on Monday? So that is all we do. We need to give it a title, give it a time, select the day of the week, and we're going to create this schedule. It gives us this window here where we can autofill this queue. And in this case, we are going to autofill this queue because we've got a content tag that we can choose. So watch how this works. Save the settings. It automatically pulled in our 32 items, and here they all are. Looking at this, you can see that we had them numbered, so it pulled them all in order. That is a good thing sometimes, and sometimes we want to mix it up. You may not be aware, but here are some other features. You can reorder the queue. You can shuffle it. Let's just shuffle it. So that just puts them in various order. Still our 32 items. Now let's go to the calendar and see what that looks like. We have scheduled all of this content. So let's look. See how easy that was? Now the only thing we did in advance was we did the work to create those 32 posts. We did that research, we did the graphic design, but now we have our Motivational Monday, let's see how far it goes, scheduled through June 15th. So we have that completely handled. And how long was that? Just a couple minutes. So again, we had that content ready to go, so that made it really easy. But when you've been using this platform for a while, I encourage you to look at your content and consider what posts might be evergreen, valid to post anytime on any day. And so then I recommend you set up an evergreen queue so those posts that you've already created can do that. Now, the other thing you can do is if you turn on recycling, this post will post more than once. So I'm going to turn on that quote one as recycling. So let's see what happens. You can see here that quote 1 has been repeated. We wouldn't want quote 1 to be repeated that many times, but we can fix that by turning on the recycling for all of our posts. Filter our posts here, Motivational Monday, and then we can easily go through here, enable recycling, and just power through all of these, and really it wouldn't take long at all. So what I did quickly there when I was showing you how to turn on the recycling, I recycled 4 or 5 posts we had already scheduled through June, but then all of the ones I set on recycling to are going to just repeat those 4 or 5 into perpetuity. So there's no limit. It's just going to keep on scheduling those. So that is scheduled forever. And that does remind me, one of the things you might want to do, you can expire this. After it posts 3 times, then I think it's time for us to create some new content.
I have a question.
Yes.
When it comes to the cues, so you set up the Motivational Monday cues with posts you've already created. When you're creating new content, if you tag it with that specific tag, will it automatically add to that cue?
It will. Let's say there's, a new piece of content here. When we add the content tag here, we would add Motivational Monday. Since we've got a queue going that is connected with that tag, now it says save content and add to the queue.
When you are creating the piece of content, you can enable the recycling inside of that too, correct?
You can. Let me show you where that is. It is right under the caption. You can hit this recycle content, and this also opens up some new options to expire after a certain date or after the times.
Are you able to add multiple tags to one queue?
You can. Let's see. So when we're in our schedule, in our example here, if I click the autofill, I can select another tag here. So we have clients that use these categories, and we use the category tags a lot. One of the other things that is really useful is to find out in our analytics tab how much those content tags, how popular they are. Now in this workspace, we hadn't been using too many tags, so I pulled up another report from another workspace that we do use these tags quite often, and it's our Mobile County content library. It makes sense that our evergreen tag that I told you about earlier is the most we've used. This shows us where the most viewed tags are. So community and tourism is the category that gets the highest, but a public notice is also neck and neck with it, which is actually a good thing, because if it's a public notice, it means we needed people to see it. And then the most engaging content. There, our public notice takes up the top, and followed that by the oil spill dollars at work, and then community and tourism. So this is actually showing the average post engagement per content tag. So you can see in our report, what we like to do is have our content organized by different topics. And then when we're looking at our report, we can see which topics are the best, or which are resonating most with our audience. But the next thing I want to talk about is how to build a drip campaign, because this is also a really powerful tool if you've got an event that you want to promote over time, but you've got one graphic. So this is useful for an event we've got coming up this month. The Holiday Market Small Business Saturday offered us a wonderful opportunity to use this and showcase it. So this is the graphic we had. So let me show you how to set this up for our drip campaign. First, we labeled it, added our graphic. We've added our 4 captions. So we've got 4 weeks before this event happens. As you're using the Content Fresh platform, you may not notice, but this little anchor here, those 2 lines allow you to expand the look, so you can make sure you're not missing anything in the caption if part of it isn't showing. And we've done this. So this takes a little bit of time to think ahead and think of your captions. But once we have this set up, we're going to recycle the content. We're going to expire it after posting 3 times. And I'm going to update that content since I made a little bit of a change. Now, in order to set this up, we're going to go to the schedule. We're going to create this as a drip schedule. So it's the second option here. And this is going to be Small Business Saturday. Post time, I usually like right before lunch to catch people on their lunch break. The day that content is added, we want it to post a week after. and then we want to repeat every week. So let me create this schedule. Don't autofill this schedule, but use existing content. And we had our post right here set up. So I'm going to add this one item. So here it is. And since we've added this and today's Wednesday, it's automatically going to add it for the next day. But don't worry, it's easy to fix that. Here's our 4 posts. We're going to just drag it over onto a Friday. So now it kept those times for 11:45. Here is our first post on the 14th. We've got this next one, and then we've got the 3rd week with that caption, and it's next week. Don't miss Small Business Saturday. And sure enough, here is our last post, and it says tomorrow's the day.
So with the drip campaign, when you do the captions, it posts it in order of the captions created?
It does. So when you're in the post, let's go ahead and edit the post to show you what that looks like again. Here's the caption number 1. It'll show the first week that you post it, or the first time you put it on the calendar, and then the other captions follow. I also want to let you know that we have 4 captions, so this gets a little bit confusing. The first one doesn't count when we're repeating it, but we do want to set expire after posting 3 times, because the first one doesn't count, and then we want to post it 3 more times. We can update that content and you'll see it. The easy thing though is that you can always change things around. If we decide to do that, on another day, we can easily move it. It's easy to turn cues on and off too. So let's say something changed. We don't want to post it after all. All I have to do is hit that button to turn it off and come back to the calendar, and it goes away. So the calendar feature is really powerful just to see what's going on with your content and what you have coming up. So those are the 2 features I really wanted to cover, just to let people know exactly how they can use these for their advantage and to save all kinds of time. Great. Well, I'm going to stop sharing. I really appreciate everyone coming, and thanks for your time and attention.